Have you ever been in a gathering where you have this deep feeling that you don't fit in? Do you feel that your thoughts and viewpoints make you seem mysterious or hard to understand to the general public? Or perhaps you're in an environment where you know what's good for you, but everything around you is tempting you in the opposite direction. If so, congratulations, you're a chosen one. You're among the few destined for great exploits. You're experiencing these feelings because, as a chosen one, you're not configured to be with many people. To find out why, make sure to tag along as we cover all of it in this video. Chosen ones are people who see and experience life very differently from most others. Their deep thoughts and unique viewpoints can make them seem mysterious or hard to understand to the general public. This special way of looking at the world sets them apart, which can often lead to feelings of loneliness or a sense that others don't get them. Think about it like this. If most people see the world through regular glasses, chosen ones see it through a special lens that reveals things others might miss. For example, while everyone else might look at a plain field and just see grass, chosen ones might notice the tiny flowers and insects that others overlook. This difference can make them feel alone, especially in groups where their unusual thoughts and behaviors stand out. Imagine being at a party where everyone is talking about the latest popular TV show, but you want to talk about a fascinating book you just read about space. The greatest minds are capable of the greatest vices as well as of the greatest virtues, said René Descartes, a famous philosopher. This misunderstanding from others isn't just a small problem. It can create a deep feeling of not fitting in. Chosen ones might struggle with the fact that their true selves and ideas are not just unshared but often misunderstood. For instance, in a classroom discussion, while others might give straightforward answers, a chosen one might provide a deeper, more thoughtful response that goes over everyone's heads. As a result, they might feel like they're always on the edge of social groups. They're not looking to be alone, but there's a natural gap between their rich internal world and the outside social scene. In many spiritual teachings, there's a big focus on going beyond the want for material things and concentrating on growing spiritually. Picture a place that's always busy, like a shopping mall or a city center. These kinds of places often encourage people to care more about owning stuff and looking important. They push you to buy the latest gadgets, wear the trendiest clothes, and aim for high social status. This is very different from what people who are deeply into spiritual growth are trying to achieve. These spiritual seekers, or chosen ones, are looking for a deeper meaning in life, something that can't be bought or shown off. When someone is surrounded by an environment that constantly says, "You need this new thing to be happy," or "You need to be popular to matter," it can be really tough for them to stay focused on their spiritual goals. This is a bit like trying to stay healthy while living in a place that only offers junk food. You know what's good for you, but everything around you is tempting you in the opposite direction. To stay on their spiritual path, chosen ones might choose to limit how much time they spend in places that focus on material things. Instead of going to the mall every weekend, they might visit a quiet park, meditate at home, or spend time with like-minded friends who also value spiritual growth. By doing this, they can protect their focus on what truly matters to them. Henry David Thoreau once said, The price of anything is the amount of life you exchange for it. This means that what you spend your time and energy on should be worth it. If you give your life to pursuing material things, you might miss out on deeper, more meaningful experiences. In the same way, chosen ones find true happiness and growth when they focus on their spiritual values. They might avoid certain social gatherings or limit their time on social media where the pressure to look perfect and have the latest items is high. Instead, they might read spiritual books, attend quiet retreats, or practice mindfulness. Chosen ones, often gifted with a special sensitivity, have important spiritual tasks to complete. This sensitivity makes it crucial for them to protect their energy. They can feel the energies around them very clearly, which can be either very good or very bad. Negative energies, in particular, can be very harmful. These bad energies can mess up their emotions and spiritual balance, making it harder for them to do their spiritual work. Imagine being at a huge concert with loud music and lots of people shouting. This can be very tiring and overwhelming. Similarly, for chosen ones, being around lots of people can mix up all kinds of energies, good and bad, making it hard to stay calm and focused. As a result, they might avoid crowded places like big parties or busy malls where the energy can be very chaotic. One famous quote by Albert Einstein says, "Energy cannot be created or destroyed. It can only be changed from one form to another." This idea is very relevant here. Chosen ones must be careful with their energy, making sure it stays positive and strong. They do this by choosing where they go and who they spend time with. It's not just about staying comfortable. It's a smart strategy to keep them strong and focused on their spiritual path. By managing where they spend their time and who they interact with, they can create a supportive environment for themselves. For instance, instead of going to a loud party, they might prefer a quiet walk in nature or spending time with close friends who have positive energy. This careful approach helps them stay balanced and effective in their spiritual work. As Mahatma Gandhi said, "The best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others." Chosen ones need to serve others, and to do that well, they need to take care of their own energy first. In everyday life, this might look like choosing to meditate in a peaceful place rather than going to a busy coffee shop. Or they might decide to read a book in their quiet room instead of hanging out in a noisy cafeteria. By doing this, they protect their energy and stay true to their spiritual journey. Chosen individuals often discover that their roles, which come with many responsibilities and spiritual practices, require them to spend regular amounts of time alone. This alone time is incredibly important because it gives them a peaceful place to recharge their energy, think deeply, and strengthen their connection to their spiritual path. Imagine being in a busy city with cars honking, people talking, and all sorts of noises. It can be hard to think clearly in that environment. Now, imagine stepping into a quiet forest where you can only hear the birds singing and the wind rustling the leaves. This quiet place helps you relax and think more clearly. In a similar way, chosen ones need to escape the noise of everyday life to focus on their spiritual practices like meditation and prayer. In this solitude, they are free from the distractions of everyday life, allowing them to concentrate on important activities like meditation, prayer, and other spiritual disciplines. These practices are not just things they do out of habit. They are essential tools that help the chosen ones align more closely with their purpose. This helps them gain clarity and strengthen their spiritual foundations. Consider the story of Mahatma Gandhi, who often retreated into silence to reflect and meditate. He once said, "In the attitude of silence, the soul finds the path in a clearer light, and what is elusive and deceptive resolves itself into crystal clearness." Another example is the author J.K. Rowling. When writing the Harry Potter series, she often sought solitude to immerse herself in the creative process. She once said, "I really think that if you're going to write, you have to find your own space and be there alone for a while." Her solitude allowed her to create the magical world of Harry Potter, showing how important alone time can be for deep work and creativity. This undisturbed peace is essential for their well-being and spiritual growth, ensuring they stay focused and balanced on their unique paths. Just like how plants need sunlight and water to grow, chosen ones need solitude to nurture their spiritual growth. People who have been chosen for special tasks often live very different lives compared to most people. Their journeys require a lot of dedication, and sometimes they need to spend time alone. Because their responsibilities are closely linked to their personal or spiritual missions, they don't always fit in with regular social activities or the interests that most people have. This unique alignment of duties can make it hard for them to find common ground with others or to participate fully in everyday social interactions. Think of a dedicated scientist working on a groundbreaking project. They might spend long hours in the lab away from friends and family because their work is crucial. Their commitment to their goals means they have to sacrifice a lot of time they could otherwise spend socializing or relaxing. Chosen ones often prioritize their missions over typical socializing or engaging in mainstream lifestyles. For instance, a person deeply committed to humanitarian work might travel to remote areas to help those in need, forgoing the comforts of home and the company of friends. Their commitments can require significant sacrifices regarding how they spend their time and who they interact with. This focus on their unique path can lead to a lifestyle that seems unusual to others, highlighting the gap between their experiences and those of the general population. The world-renowned cellist 𝘃𝗶𝗀𝗲 once remarked, "Passion is one great force that unleashes creativity, because if you're passionate about something, then you're more willing to take risks." Chosen ones are special people who can feel what others are feeling on a very deep level. This means they can sense emotions very strongly, almost as if those emotions are their own. This deep empathy is a superpower in understanding and helping others because they can feel exactly what someone else is going through. However, this strong sensitivity also brings some problems. Imagine being in a room full of people, each with their own emotions. It's like hearing 100 different songs playing all at once, each with its own rhythm and melody. For chosen ones, feeling all these emotions at once can be incredibly exhausting. When they are around many people, they might feel overwhelmed by the mix of happiness, sadness, anger, and other emotions, which can lead to what's called emotional overload. This emotional overload can be very tiring and can affect their mental health. Chosen ones may feel like they're carrying not just their own feelings, but everyone else's as well. This can make them feel mentally and emotionally drained. To cope with this, chosen ones often need to protect themselves by limiting how much time they spend in large groups. For instance, they might decide to skip a busy party and instead spend time with a few close friends where the emotional atmosphere is more calm and manageable. You can't pour from an empty cup, as the saying goes. This means they need to take care of their own emotional needs first before they can help others. Many people who are spiritually advanced or chosen ones often crave deep and meaningful connections that resonate with their values and spiritual journey. They prefer interactions that go beyond the surface, engaging in discussions that are more profound and meaningful. As author and motivational speaker 𝘃𝗵𝗶𝘀 once said, "You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with." In large gatherings, conversations often revolve around superficial topics. People might talk about the weather, latest movies, or social media trends, which doesn't leave much room for deeper connections. Chosen ones often find these interactions less satisfying because they don't align with their need for meaningful discourse. Instead, they prefer nurturing fewer but more profound relationships that align with their spiritual path. For example, think about the difference between chatting with a classmate about homework versus having a heart-to-heart conversation with a close friend about your dreams and fears. The latter is much more fulfilling because it touches on deeper aspects of your life. Similarly, chosen ones find that building strong, deep relationships allows them to connect on a level that supports their spiritual growth. This approach helps them maintain the integrity of their spiritual practice and personal growth. Meaningful relationships provide a source of strength, support, and enrichment. They help chosen ones stay grounded and focused on their spiritual journey. As poet and philosopher Rumi said, "Set your life on fire. Seek those who fan your flames." By focusing on cultivating relationships that offer genuine understanding and shared values, chosen ones ensure that their social connections contribute positively to their spiritual journey rather than detracting from it. This preference for depth over breadth in social interactions not only enhances the spiritual well-being of chosen ones, but also allows them to deeply influence and uplift those with whom they form connections. It's a mutually reinforcing cycle of spiritual growth, where each person involved benefits from the relationship. As the writer C.S. Lewis said, "Friendship is born at that moment when one person says to another, 'What? You too? I thought I was the only one.'" If you found this video helpful, check out this other inspiring video. Subscribe to our channel and remember, now you know why the chosen ones cannot be around many people.